classic truck rescue. That orange thing showing its face out here again. Thank you, Lord. I do appreciate every sunny day we can get out here. But yesterday, got the second container all lined up, leveled out, and ready to go. That one's making a good spot for Annabella to hang out in right now, where she can be safe, and I can keep an eye on her and let her out to run around every now and then. And also, gonna go to work on my pumpkin tractor today. The problem I've had with that is I need tools, serious man tools, to do that job, and they're all in there in Curtis. And another thing is, I left the electrical connected on that, and if you if you don't hit the shut-off switch for the battery, it goes dead. So Curtis is over there charging a deep cycle marine and RV battery for me, and I can look through them and see what tools I need to do that. And a lot of what's in there is shelves out of my garage, and this container's all empty. The whole purpose of these other two containers, well, this one was to alleviate some of the crowding in that container of my parts and tools, and I'm going to put all those shelves in there and start putting tools on them. And this one over here is just extra room for the house. Attach it to the fifth wheel, have room for a couple extra rooms. I got some good plans for that. But I'm going to go to work on pumpkin because I've been feeling the pain of not having a tractor out here, and it's not good. It's back pain. And as you can see, his front end's a little out of whack right now, but that's because a bolt snapped right there, which led that bracket right there to pull away from the frame, and then this pin for the suspension right there came out of that hole right there, right there. And I gotta rectify all that, because if you can't steer it, you can't use it. So what I'm gonna do, put a new battery in it, get that bucket lifted up, rest the bucket on the top of Homer's boom so that I can jack the rest of the tractor up and have an uncluttered. Ooh, sounds like that battery's charged me. That's what's cool. I learned a lot about battery chargers recently. Apparently, new battery chargers are designed to not charge a completely dead battery. I don't know whose idea that was, but I don't like it. Anyway, they will charge marine and RV deep cycles, but rather than fire up the generator and all that, since I wanted to move Curtis over here, lighten his load a little bit, I started him up and then pulled the battery that he was using out and then put in a dead battery, which he's charging. And as soon as you hook up a dead battery to one like that, you can hear the alternator draw the engine down. And I just heard him go up in RPM, so that battery might be charged. He might just sit over there and charge some batteries for me today. I got about 4 or 5 dead ones, but they're new batteries. Anyway, gonna get to work on pumpkin. I'll show you how we fix that when I come back. Keep an eye on my little pooch. Yeah, with the bucket out of the way, you can really see how messed up that front end is. There's no using it like that. I get pumpkin fixed today, then I can go ahead and brush hog this area where Jet's barn's going to be. So Jamie brought in some more big rock down there. Just got back from the quarry, and I'm going to dump it right here where after I get through brush hogging all this, I can spread it out in front of the entrance to this container across this little muddy area right here and start going back in there. Our plan is to build the big rock up to the line you see going across the bottom of those containers, and then put medium-sized rock over that, and then 3/4, and then Jamie can put shavings over that, and we'll have really good drainage for Jet, and it slopes down towards where his exit and entrance are going to be to his pasture. Should work out pretty good. The upper hand on the roads now. Some people might laugh and say, you think you do? Well, I think we do. And it's nice to be able to just come in and address areas, small areas like this at a time. We put a little more down there by Jamie's Louie, and you know, we just kind of put a little here and a little there where we see spots starting to develop that need a little more base, and I'll spread this around a little bit, and that'll get us clear up to that container where we can back in. Put a little more right there, a little more right here, and let me get this tractor fixed. Seems like every time I start working on this tractor, I get sidetracked. And I need this tractor, especially if we're going to keep bringing rock in. Let me get on that. I'll get him jacked up and come back and show you what I'm going to do. I jacked it up and took the weight off the front end, but while I was under here, I noticed another bolt missing right there. So I'll have to round one of those up too. These old tractors, and I do go over both of my tractors a lot and check them from time to time, because bolts do work their way loose on them, and you got to go through and tighten stuff. But you know, apparently that's on me because I wasn't being as thorough as I should have. But I'm thinking right now that if I start it up, this thing is equipped with power steering, which I guess was kind of rare for a 1940s tractor. But I think if I fire it up and turn the wheel, it'll actually get that pin closer to where it needs to be. And that's really what I need to do first. Then I'll pull this bracket off and address it. But I'm gonna see if that moves the pin over a little bit. Here, you guys sit here and watch. Tell me if the tractor falls down or anything. So here's the plan. I bought 2 big bolts that are threaded almost all the way up. 2 of them. I'm going to drill a hole right here. I'm going to drill a hole right here all the way through the frame. And I'm going to take this really long bolt and I'm going to suck this bracket back in with that. Then I'm going to take this other bolt and I'll put it over here on the side all the way through. I'm going to cinch them all the way down, cut the ends off, and then it'll have more bolts holding it than it did before, and it'll get me back to work. Temporary repair, but better than it was. I'll be back. So nothing ever goes like expected out here. My plan was to drill through this plate right here and through there, but I'm glad I took a look before I followed my plan, because that second piece is the steering gearbox. So probably don't want to drill into that, and that's probably why they don't have any bolts on the front of that. The problem is the one bolt that they had right there snapped off in the case, and if I run it through there or drill that out, I'm gonna have to take the whole steering system apart to fix that. So I have another plan which I'm gonna use. I used this come along right here just to suck that whole bracket back up tight, and that was good because my pin's now well in there, and I did bend that back a little bit. But this thing's got to get going. And also, Annabella was getting cold, so I hooked her up with a light in there, and then on the other side of her little pen that you can't see is a nice electric heater to keep her toasty. Because we like to bring her out here with us, but we don't want her to get cold. And then Jamie was using her gas-powered weed eater and had this big scarf on right here, and it got caught in here, and I guess caught her by surprise. Glad that wasn't her hair. And so I'll probably have to take that apart, but not tonight. Gonna get my tractor fixed. Gotta get my tractor fixed, so that's what I'm gonna do. Oh, also wanted to add once again, my buddy Jack, who served in the Navy, thank you for your service, Jack, and passed away on Veterans Day, left me his tools, and one of them was this heavy-duty Milwaukee half-inch drill, which I'm gonna use to fix my tractor right now. So thank you again for your service, Jack, and thank you again for helping me out here on the farm. Miss you, buddy. Got all the boys warming up on a rainy morning. Things didn't go quite as planned with my repairs on Pumpkin yesterday. I do believe that he will work today, but I am so ashamed of my repair job that I'm not even going to show it to you. I'm just going to show you what I got to do with that. And the reason I can't properly repair Pumpkin, I mean, he does work right now. It's a matter of how long he's going to work. But all my tools are scattered between that, and that. And I'm having a very hard time finding what I need. And the reason for that is we need to be out here and get our stuff organized. But before we can do that, got to spread this rock out. Got to put rock going up to that container. Got to brush hog that, which I need Pumpkin for right now because Jamie's coming back with a load of gravel, or actually big rock. And then tomorrow, the fifth wheel's coming out here. I know I've said that a few times, but I think it really is tomorrow. And we weren't ready before, and everything happens for a reason, so we are ready now though, except I want to put some big rock right here so my buddy that's bringing it out doesn't have any problems at all, has good rock to drive on and good rock to back the fifth wheel up on. Now, I don't want to make our yard rock, I just want to make a rock kind of little driveway right there for him to back it up on, so it will have rock underneath it also. And also, I'd like to put some rock going up to that container, because yesterday I made a little cozy spot for Annabella in there with an electric heater and a light, and I got to thinking, well, that's nice for Annabella. And then I got to thinking, wow, every time Jamie and I want to take a break, we had a table sitting right over there, and we'd just go sit there whether it was raining or whatever, and you know, I guess just got used to it. And it didn't occur to me that now that this container's where it's supposed to go and leveled up, why not put our little table and chairs in there? where we could have a place to be dry and warm once in a while. And it makes you appreciate things. Trust me, I am so grateful for every little thing, and every time we make a little progress and it brings a little more convenience into our lives, I just have a whole new perspective on everything. We've only been out here, we found this property under 6 months ago and had to use a machete to walk around and even look at it. And I think we've gotten a lot of work done, and I'm grateful to the Lord for the resources and the opportunity and for all I've learned out here. And I'm grateful to my viewers for all your great tips, and we'll keep going. And but anyway, my point was, no, I haven't repaired pumpkin the way I want to, but right now I really need that tractor to work to just do a few more things so that we can get our home over here and have a place to lay our heads down and be able to wake up on the property. It'll just make a huge difference in not having to get up and get ready and to come out here and then go to work and then having to clean up. It'd just be nice to have a place to hose off and change and go to bed, watch TV, weird stuff like that. Anyway, so I'm gonna go. Curtis has been doing a great job of charging up all the batteries too. I've had him sit there for 2 days running, discharging batteries. He charges them all the way up. We'll figure out what to do about that. So Homer, I think I'm about done with you for a little while. Gonna go park him up front where we park him in the Bullfrog dump truck, and then go put Curtis back in his little parking spot that I made for him. And then Jamie ought to be back with the rock, and I'll get the brush hogging and spreading, and hopefully tomorrow there'll be a little cozy home sitting right there. Anyway, classic truck rescue. Wish Pumpkin luck today. And please don't look at my repair job. Please don't. I did get everything today that I need to fix it right, but I gotta find the tools. Peace out. Jamie just got back with another load of gravel. She's getting pretty efficient with that dump truck. Anyway, I dumped half of the load right there so I can make a little walkway up into that container so we're not getting it all muddy in there. And then there's a spot over there that needed a little addressing, and we're gonna have spots like that, like right here, where you got to come and just put in a little extra rock, and that's cool. It's a lot better than having to pave whole roads. But we do have one more that we got to pave, because after we get the fifth wheel out here and get it set up, I have to make a driveway that goes from right here in these blackberry bushes all the way across the pasture and up to the street, which is up there by those 2 trees that are right in the middle of the screen. And I have to take out 1 tree, but we got to go down and get our permit to do that. And the reason we have to put that driveway there is so that Portland General Electric can come in and put in our electric service, which is going to be the first thing we're going to want to get done after we get the fifth wheel out here, so we can start building the shop. But anyway, right now I'm just going to touch up this area of the drive, because we've got it where we can drive all the way around now in a circle, and that'll make it easy for the guy that's bringing in my fifth wheel. And I'm going to spread a little more of this rock right here to the left so that we have a place to park Jamie's truck right there where there's nothing hanging over it, and it'll be out of the way. And good progress. I like this spot up here. This is like a point. The river is, or the stream, the river's further back over there, but the stream is really low today. And I think Jamie's gonna like this spot come spring and summer, because it's got this rock beach right here and then sand over there. And it's kind of isolated, but you'll have a private place to hang out and soak up some rays. But anyway, we ain't soaking up no rays today. I'm soaked and we're done out here for today. I spread out all the rock that came in. Jamie's been doing really good with the dump truck. But this is where I'm going to put my fifth wheel right here. And the reason there's a space right here is because this is going to be an enclosed area with grass in it. Where Annabella's going to have a little secure enclosed playpen, so I don't have to worry about predators from the sky, land, or water messing with her. But anyway, I'm going to make a little hallway that goes from the fifth wheel to the left over here and connects to that container, and then there'll be a space right here fully screened in and fenced in where she can watch Dad work over here, and where I can let her out to play. But anyway, got this area, got that rock spread over there underneath Pumpkin. And by the way, Pumpkin hung in there today even with his cheesy repair. Got that rock spread going out up to that container. Next we'll bring a load in to fill in this low spot in the center right here, and we find ourselves kicking rocks all the time because there are spots where it's really hard to smooth out this really big rock. Like when you first put it in, it's like that, and it's hard to even walk on, and like that. We're going to put 2 more loads in there before we bring the fifth wheel in, just to have a good base under the fifth wheel. But yeah, so that's what it's like when you first bring it in. It's hard to walk on, but then you find low spots like this, and then you find a pile of rocks over here, and you kick them over and put them in the low spots in it. It's time consuming, but it actually does work. And then they start locking together when you drive over them and getting solid. And yeah, we will be putting drainage all around the parking lot and the roads. I got this area brush hogged out in between these 2 containers. That's where Jet's barn's going to be. We're going to start bringing in a bunch of this big rock right here and filling that whole area up with the big rock. And then we're going to this size rock on top of the big rock, and then we'll put 3/4 minus on top of that. The spot that we have picked out for his barn and Jamie's tack room slopes to the back, which is good because we'll have good drainage. The slope then continues off to the right, so drainage will be going that way, and Jet will be going that way to his pasture. Jamie spent a bunch of time out here clearing these limbs. Oh, this tree's cool too. This is an old growth tree that had a second growth tree grow out of it when it fell or whatever happened, but it's kind of cool. I'm going to trim all these limbs under here up to about 14 feet so that Jamie can cruise under here from there, which will be Jet's barn, under here and out here to his pasture. And the fence will go straight across over and meet up with the neighbor's fence, and then he has all that all the way up to the road for a pasture, which it'll be good. Anyway, we're done working out here for today, and just glad to have all the containers lined up, pretty much leveled up and ready to put a roof over the top of all of them and close all this. And but right now we're running out to my mom's house and going in her backyard and getting my fifth wheel ready to move over here, because I want to be out here. It'll be nice. Yeah, sometimes we get ready to do something, such as go get the fifth wheel, and we decide we want to do a little something else before we move on to the next goal. And what we decided is to bring a couple more loads of gravel in here, or big rock actually, and just make a really good foundation for the fifth wheel to sit on, because it's actually going to go out there just a little bit further than that and tie up to the end of that container. But so we brought one extra load in today, and it already made it a lot better. But we're going to put one more load that Jamie's on the way back with. And then on today's menu is going and fixing one of my old trucks. I call it the mule, the old mule. There is a new mule and an old mule. They're pretty much identical, but the old mule has a fifth wheel hitch mounted in its bed, and I've used it to haul my fifth wheel before. It's been a few years since it's been on the road, and it needs a little work, but we decided it'd be good to have an extra four-wheel drive truck that runs and drives good to run around out here with, and to be able to pull the fifth wheel. And especially since I now have that trailer which has a fifth wheel attachment on it. That goes behind Homer, but there's no reason why it couldn't go by let's say more road-friendly truck. Anyway, we'll get this other load spread out as soon as Jamie gets back, and then we'll go look at the old mule. I find myself looking for excuses to climb up high on places and get a different perspective of the property. That's the road out front and the pasture. The driveway that we come in on is over there, and it goes down that side of the property and then wraps around over there where those old boys are and Homer's parked, and then you come around, you go back through there. There's one of the entrances, and the other entrance to the parking lot's over there. Come in here, that's the turnaround. That'll be Jet's pasture over there. This is his barn area that he just cleared out yesterday, and that'll be a temporary shop. Over there's where our home's going to be. The stream's beyond that, and then the river's way back beyond that, and then where we're going to build our permanent house, our tree house, is back in there. And I was kind of hoping to get a shot of Jamie coming in with that load of rock, but I don't know how long I want to stand up here, because I have to stand on the edge. Pretty thin aluminum there. Out on the property on a Saturday morning, I'm getting ready to go to work on an old truck that I retired a long time that I call the Mule. And it's kind of confusing because there's two mule trucks. One's an 83 Chevy, 3/4 ton four-wheel drive, light blue in color with a 454 and a 4-speed. The other's a 1983 GMC 3/4 ton four-wheel drive, light blue in color, 350 automatic. But I retired. Anna, come on. Come on, honey. Come on. Anna. Come on, sweetie. Anna, let's go. Come on. Come on. This is one of the only places where I feel semi-safe letting her run around without a leash on. I know I still got to keep an eye on her. I took him out of the bushes the other day, literally. Well, I had to pull a tree out to get him out, and I had to move a big mound of dirt. Got him running, and then because of where he was, I had to drag it with old Pumpkin. He's hiding over there. I keep looking around, I always see stuff I want to show you. Anyway, we put a bunch more big rock in here, and I think we are about done putting the big rock in the parking area. There's still some spots where it's a little light, but we can fill that in with the other stuff. Anyway, Jamie dumped me about 3 loads of rock right here yesterday, and I used Pumpkin and started, first I straightened out all the low spots in the parking area, and then I pushed a bunch of it back in there in between those containers, because that's where Jet's gonna have his barn and Jamie's tack room. So I'm gonna put a good solid foundation of the big rock underneath it, and then we're gonna put medium-sized rock, that rock right there, over that, and then 3/4 over that, and that'll be good drainage because it slopes to the back where he goes to his pastures to the left, and then it continues to slope to the right. I just think it'll be ideal for him. But anyway, the Mule was my first truck that I used to go and rescue trucks, and I put a lot of miles on a lot of highways with that truck. And I retired it basically because it gets 6 miles to the gallon. And I thought that I had snapped the front drive shaft, but I went over the truck from bumper to bumper yesterday and went and got everything I need to make it roadworthy. Like I said, I did get it running the other night, and all the stuff works on it, lights and wipers and all that stuff, heater. But it sounds like a battle wagon right now, and I'll start it up for you before, and then I'll start it up after I get done with it today. And the reason we brought this truck back into service is because we had a friend that was going to help us go get our fifth wheel, and he's going through some stuff right now that's more than what I'm going through. So anyway, they found some tumors on him, and he was having a 3-inch needle stuck in him and not feeling real good. But despite that, did call me and say that he would get my fifth wheel over here, and I had to release him against his will from that commitment. And I told him, no, you focus on you, and I will pray for you. And I want to ask my viewers that do pray to just please pray for my friend that is a good guy and really needs it right now, and he needs good health because we like him, and we want him to feel better. But so I'm going to go ahead and get the mule back into service because the mule has a fifth wheel attachment in the back of it, and I've actually used it to haul my fifth wheel before, and it's a good truck to have around here. Jamie needs a farm truck to drive that has doors and stuff on it and all those fenders in the hood, and I think that'd be a good truck to keep her dry out here and something to hop around in. And we need it right now to go get our fifth wheel. And I did make a pad under there for the fifth wheel, and I think that'll help to have it sitting on rock and blocks. And the other mule, Annabella, Annabella, you stay by Dad. So Anna's on trial. Anna, come on, be a good girl. If you want to have no leash, you got to stay by Dad. Just breaking Annabella in at stages with being able to walk around without a leash on. Good girl, you're being a good girl without a leash, and I have to really keep an eye on her, but I don't want her to always have to be on a leash, and I want her to be able to run around with me. Just she has to be supervised because she's really small. Anyway, so I showed you the old mule. So I retired the old mule because it was getting like 6 miles to the gallon, and I got the new mule, which is a GMC, 83 GMC, 4-wheel drive, 3/4 ton. But it has a small block and automatic, and got a little bit better gas mileage. And it just started running like poo one day, and I took the carburetor apart, and it looks like someone took a candle and melted it inside the carburetor, which I know has something to do with paraffin and all kinds of fuel related stuff and all of that, but it has a real good engine and drivetrain in it, so that's why I keep it around. But today the new mule is going to give up some stuff to the old mule so that I can have one good running mule for right now. And we certainly won't part this truck out, but he owes the old mule a few things, and we'll address that today. But right now, Annie, you want to come back here? Come on. Right now, what I want to talk about is I have a viewer that makes hardware. I got to try to walk where I know Anna can walk without sinking in mud. Anyway, I have a viewer that makes hardware for tree houses, and he said that he wanted me to try his hardware out on my tree house and wanted to see what the area looked like where we're going to build our tree house. So that's where we're going, back by the tree house spot. This is one spot that would be good for a tree house, but it's not the spot we have picked out, and that's where our temporary home site is. So it's really not that far to where we want to build our tree house, which is right over there, because there are just some huge, really old, really big trees right there, a group of them. And like I said, one of my viewers says Jamie likes the way that limb fell down with the ivy on it between the two trees. And I don't know why there is a teddy bear stuck to a limb up there. I really don't. I have no idea. Anyway, that stump's kind of cool too. But anyway, this is where we want to build the treehouse, right here, because you got this group of really big old trees. Really beautiful spot, and the stream's right there. I mean, you couldn't, and it has a gradual slope going down to the stream, so it, you know, you could get down there easy, and you can cross easy right here because it's shallow. But there's a couple spots that'd be a good swimming hole. So these are the trees. He asked me to film the actual trees. These are the trees that are in the spot we really like, and there's a bunch of them, and I imagine you'd probably have to take a couple out. That's a good one. That looks to me like an anchor tree, perfectly straight, old. That's a good one right there. I think, I don't know about trees, there's a couple right there that look pretty good, and one here. So as you can see, this, I'm standing in the center of where all those trees are right now, and it looks to me like you could build a pretty, and we don't need a big mansion tree house, but a comfortable one would be nice. Doesn't have to be huge. Maybe one guest room, bedroom, and one bedroom. 2 bedrooms, an office. Gotta have 2 bathrooms. So also we got a ton of these logs that are in the stream that look like they've been in there a long time, and if anyone knows anything about what I should do with those, because there are some really cool ones. Jamie likes this one down here. It comes to a point. Apologize for the shakiness. It's hard to keep it steady when I'm zoomed in, but there's just a whole bunch of logs like that in the stream, and we're thinking that's some kind of a resource. So if anyone has any ideas on that, be helpful. Anyway, so here's the spot where we do want the tree house. I like this spot best. Jamie likes it too. So before I get the old mule back on the road, I thought I'd show you why he's not on the road. And don't worry about that plane in the background. In a minute you won't be able to hear it at all. Oh, and it's cold, so it's a little hard to start. And the driver's seat's wet because this window won't roll up. I don't think Jamie liked that very much. And the starter solenoid needs a little work. The list goes on. Well, it might need that work right now. Get that exhaust too hot. I'm getting ready to go to work down there, but you can see it needs a little love. Yeah, we'll get her fixed up. Sometimes it just feels like you got to do a million things before you can do the next thing on the list. I didn't really have room to work under there, so I figured I'd put the old mule up on some blocks, but that's kind of pointless when you need to put air in the tires too. So I said, well, I'll put some air in the tires because they all need to be checked anyways. Truck's been sitting a long time. But that means you got to fire up the generator, drag it out, fire it up. And then you got to drag the air compressor out, fire it up, so you can fill the little can to fill the tire so you could drive up on the blocks. The blocks that you still have to go cut from that railroad tie, take that one and make 2 to have blocks put under, because I used all my blocks under the containers. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is sometimes it takes a long time to get the next thing done on the list, and I get tons of comments of people saying I should do this to this vehicle or that to that vehicle, and you know, other tips about what I can do out on the property. And most of the time they're great tips, and when I get around to whatever that was that they mentioned, I usually do it. But also what you need to keep in mind is that we need to live out here. We need to actually have a home sit right there. So I have a list of a million things that I should do and want to do, but sometimes you have to prioritize that list and just do absolutely what's next on the priority list. And right now, that's this truck. So I can go get the 5th wheel and put it right there. And I do appreciate all of my tips, and I don't ever want to discourage anyone from leaving them, because yes, I want to drag tires around here, but that involves, you know, right now I'm using pumpkin when I can to spread rock, and I will drag tires around out here and see how that works. And all the things I need to do to the tractors and Homer and the bullfrog, yep, need to do them, but I have a list, and all that's on the list, and right now this is what's on the list, so that I can have a little house sitting right there. And I'm gonna go air this tire up and then go cut a couple of blocks and get the old mule up in the air and get to work on it. I'll be back. That's more better. Holy cow. Yeah, I'd say the old mule needs a little fixing up. I'll find out what that is. Yeah. Well, I just went and peeked, and apparently that smoke is rolling off the exhaust where I soaked the exhaust bolts down with penetrating oil. So it's all good. So this is what we're dealing with today. Exhaust donut gaskets, those 2 round guys right there. And while I was at it, I went ahead and got a new set of studs, because it's not often that you can replace exhaust donut gaskets without breaking some of those. And it's a little ways into town. So while I'm under there, I'm also going to take those bolts right there and put them in my 4-wheel drive shaft, because the old bolts walked out, which is a good thing, because I thought my shaft had broken. Don't know if you could see this or not, but that's where the exhaust donuts go. Right there where the flange attaches to the exhaust manifold. Oh, you probably want to look at that. Right there where the flange attaches to the exhaust manifold, that donut goes in between there, and those are the studs that are prone to breaking. We'll soak them down again, but I'm going to go ahead and do both sides because, well, because I need to. That one's, nobody's home in that one right there. I mean, it's completely gone. So we'll get them both replaced. While I'm at it, I'll take a look at this starter, because as I recall, it's not all that old, and it may be something as simple as a loose connection for the main cable going into the solenoid. And then my drive shaft that I thought I broke, which is right here, isn't broke. The bolts just came out of it. So we'll see what we can do about reattaching this guy to the transfer case back there. And then we got some other stuff to look at. But right now, I'm going to work on those, just so I can hear myself think while it's running. Peace out. Well, that actually went pretty easy. I didn't snap any bolts. Nothing spectacular happened. I just unbolted everything. 3 bolts on each side. Pulled the Y pipe down. Put in the new exhaust donuts. Replaced a little bit of the hardware just because it was old. And let's see how it sounds. That's a lot quieter. I can still hear a little bit of an exhaust leak coming from probably where it attaches to the muffler. But that's plenty quiet to go get the fifth wheel. So now I'll get to work on checking all the lights, fluid, clean it up a little bit, and tomorrow we'll use this to go get our comb and put it right there. Yeah, it's good when you can bring one of your old trucks back into service and put it back into use, and this is a good truck for us to have out here. And got his exhaust all quieted down, his four-wheel drive shafts hooked back up, went over all the fluids, put some fresh gas in them. Do have some little odds and ends that I'm gonna work on tonight, including installing new wiper blades, going over all the lights, making sure all the bulbs are working, to replace the taillight lens and clean it out. But it is ready to go get our fifth wheel tomorrow, so I'm going to take it down off the blocks and get it cleaned up. Good to have one of your old trucks that you used a lot come back into service for you. And like I said, I quit driving this truck because the gas just got to be too much for me. I used this truck when I first started out doing classic truck rescue, and I drove it all over the Pacific Northwest rescuing old trucks. I'll go over the rest of this stuff, all the little lights and things like that, but all the major stuff's working pretty good. And tomorrow we'll take this, Jamie and I will take this, and we'll go get my fifth wheel over at my mom's, and you guys can ride along. Should be a fun little trip. Annabella, you want to go for a ride with Daddy? Come on, let's go for a ride. Come on, come here. Be a good girl. You gotta be good if you're gonna be out here. Classic truck rescue. Let there be light. I went out and climbed a tree and put a light out there because Jamie and I are working on the mule. You can't see it very well right now, but he's coming along pretty good. And Jamie's actually in there nesting right now. She used to have a truck similar to this that was jacked up. It was huge and it was beautiful. I saw pictures of it, but she actually sold it because the guy that she was with at that time kept sabotaging it, hitting it with golf clubs and doing stupid stuff like that. I'm telling you, she's bonding with this truck. Wait till you see her tomorrow. I got all the lights working, wipers, and she's cleaning it, and I'm fine-tuning it. Old mule comb, you never know. You see trucks out here and you might think they're old junky trucks, but you never know when one's going to get called back into service. And I think the old mule's going to be perfect out here, and I think Jamie's going to grow to love him. Punzel.
Hey, you know what?
No, what?
What's this guy's story anyways?
What guy, the truck?
Yeah. How'd you acquire him? What, you know? Cause I don't know.
Oh, because you're curious about him?
Oh, yeah.
I just told everybody you were over here nesting in this thing.
I'm not nesting, I'm feeding it.
I think you like him.
Well, he's like the mule, but he's old mule, right?
Yeah, he's the old mule.
Okay,
Well,
so tell me. How you acquired him, what's going on? Did you ever get in high-speed chasing him?
no.
Oh. I mean,
No, I stopped doing that 20 years ago.
I know, shame.
I behave now. What are you talking about?
Sorry,
Anyway,
I like that part of
I'll
you.
tell you about the mule tomorrow when we're going over to get our new home. Are you excited?
Yeah.
It's really happening.
Look.
But,
I got his boot back together.
oh, wow.
Wait, there's a little...
Well, let me see. You're kind of blocking my view.
I don't have it all the way done yet. There's a part right there. It needs to... I should take my gloves
He's got some pretty cool, solid floors, doesn't he?
off. Yeah, I should take my gloves off and I can do it better. But...
Well, that looks very nice, honey. And you know what's cool about that second, smaller shift lever there?
It's four-wheel drive.
And it works now.
Do you have to lock the hubs on this? Or...
Nope. Automatic, baby. Just pull the lever and go. What? Well, he's been sitting for a couple of years.
Ooh.
Come on,
Ooh.
be a going
It's
chick. Oh, you are a true going
Oh,
chick
look,
now.
I am. Look at this. Spider webs. Spider.
This is how you turn a Cali chick into a true Oregonian. Turn her into a gone. I love you, honey. I'm going to get some more parts for your truck.
I had plumber's crack.
I saw that.
Yourself a cup of coffee. I made a fresh pot.
I almost got it out, Lou. I'll be right there.
Looking good, Rick.
Yeah.